No. I mean, I don't think so. What's You've never been camping, really? I've only been camping a few times, and honestly, camping was really fun until waking up, like, you know, because you're, like, totally outside, you know what I mean? You either gotta wake up, like, 6 a.m. before the sun really gets going, or you're gonna be waking up in the blitz of the heat. There's no sleeping in with camping. And if you do, it's just gonna be freaking miserable. Yeah, you're waking up at, like, you know, super hot, mosquitoes. Yeah, it's just, you know, you gotta do it the right way. And if you're trying to skirt around that, it's just not, I have a pretty funny camping story, honestly. What up, Theta? Yeah, one of these times I went camping, sleeping overnight in the woods. This was a long time ago, but I went on this church camp expedition in another state. Oh, you got one? So I was in this other state, you know, and this, like, on this, like, church camping trip, you know?
Well,
and,
it's that time again. Time for the 1% to talk to the 99%.
I don't know, it was just kind of weird. So it was a different state, alright? So there was these tall trees in this woods. I was like hanging out with these guys or whatever, I didn't know, and we were just like, yeah, we're just gonna like walk around away from the campgrounds a little bit, just try and get some fresh air, you know, or something like that. And I don't know, there was this one tree, it was like a tree limb that was very like very bouncy, I guess I could say. It was just a long like piece of kudzu vine, I guess, over the years that was thick, and I don't know, it was just bouncy, I guess. And one of the guys was just like, yeah, you know, like let's bounce on this like as hard as we can. Just like, you know, it's like a hammock or something, like, yeah. And he starts swinging on it, and then like I look up and all of a sudden I see this snake literally falling out of the sky, and we were standing in like a circle almost, and it fell in between us, like just in the circle of us, and it was this big like just black snake. I don't know, I thought it may have been like a cottonmouth or something, but who knows. We just all freaking ran. But it was like really tall trees. I guess it was just hiding up there, you know, in the vine or whatever. And we started like bouncing on it. It just fell out of the tree. But I literally looked up and just see like a flying snake, just a snake just freaking falling out of this tree. I was like, oh my god. Sorry, Miko. I had it. We're falling right out of the sky. Dude, we're falling right out of the sky. We gotta drop the load! Man, we haven't heard anti-vape in a minute. Oh, dude, Kobe is playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 right now. Remake. That's really cool. I'm like driving with one hand and looking at my phone on the other. Don't do that, IRL. You merged your party down? Nice. You got to the... Welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows. You got to that point. That's awesome. Yeah, you kind of... Like, whenever you get choked up in that game, you most likely just need to do some fusing. And, you know, just, like, look at what you're fusing. Like, you know. Sometimes sometimes it's not worth it, but most of the time, like... 70% of the time it is. Yes, Blurty. I was explaining this to Mumbly. I showed him the loose graph. Look, it's not... Look, dude. Okay. It's not as cut and dry as you're memeing on, okay? Like, of course. Of course that's... Alright. You just... Look, Blurty. You want me to go through the explanation again with you? Blurty said she didn't get it. So I was trying to really drill it into her brain. I didn't get to explain it on the trajectory graph with Ultimate, Flirty. Let me pull up the graph again, come on. Good lord. So you want to try it out? Is that what you're saying? Don't you dare. Okay. Can't believe we're halfway through with the camper loop, guys. Can you believe it? You understand it? Do you now? Because you keep saying you do, and then you turn around and you're like, I'll never get it. I'll never understand it. I don't know why it's such a OP thing. It's like, it's... Look, dude. Look, dude. Because it goes past what is, like... what should be something. Like, when you think about this mechanic, it should be cut and dry. It honestly just makes sense. The idea of time spent rewarded with with knockback, you know, like that's what the that's what it is. It's you know, time spent rewarded with modifiable knockback. Like that's, you know, just more knockback. Okay, there's I don't know, maybe people just don't think about it like this, but when I think about that, you present me with something like that, I'm gonna think about it in a natural progression from charge 1 to full charge. And once again, the time per spent charging is equated towards knockback, and yeah, it's just a curve. That's what I'm trying to say is like it curves like in a non-gradual steady way. It curves and ramps up really hard in the beginning on Melee, and then like evens out from, I don't know, like 25% of the charge to 100. Like that whole 75% range of charging it from like 2 to 4 seconds or whatever is like, I don't know, maybe only like a 25 to 30% gain, whereas the first second of charge is like the full 60 to 75% of the curve. Like, you just think about it in a gradual way, or how it should be. What makes it like something that isn't known is just the fact that, yeah, it's just a big curve at the beginning, and most of the charge reward knockback to player is just granted in the first like second of charge. It's not a gradual curve. It's not a gradual like common sense time spent per knockback. I don't know. It's not that crazy. It's really not drastic like Mumbly's saying. It's just, you know, when you actually know that about Melee, I think it just, you know, you can really optimize it, and you don't have to spend the unnecessary, you know, 2 to 4 seconds like getting what you think you're getting, you know. How is it not common sense though? Look, Blurdy, the whole mechanic, obviously that's common sense, but I feel like you're just not, it's not clicking to you that like it's not a gradual incline. I don't know. That's what makes it non-common knowledge, is it doesn't work right. It doesn't work the way you would think. Solely through like, I don't know, developer oversight, or imagine eating an infinite pile of potatoes and we graph how much we enjoy those potatoes. Once you start nomming, you enjoy them, but over time your rating will plateau. You might start calling potatoes mid. You might even hate potatoes. I think that's a good way to put it, yeah. They just messed up the time spent per knockback rewarded to the player. That's all. It's too much for too little time. It doesn't make like developer sense to me. How did they mess up? They crammed like 60-70% of the knockback rewards given in the first second of charge, instead of like equating it in a natural way to how long you're gonna spend, because there's only 4 seconds of charge, so like 70% of the reward given is granted in the first like 1/4 of the charge, instead of what you would think 75% of the reward of knockback given would be at like, if there's 4 seconds, 75% at the 3-second mark. Does that make sense? We're gonna do another loop.